You see, the people who study things like neuro-linguistic programming tell us that when we are being honest, sincere, genuine, straightforward, forthright with whoever we're talking to, we'll more or less tend to look them in the eye. On the other hand, if we're being devious, dishonest, disingenuous, trying to be deceiving, we have a tough time maintaining eye contact, and the customer who's trying to tell you about the sweeter deal he's got down the street, who does not truly have a sweeter deal down the street, will have a tough time making eye contact with you. So rather than cringe the minute a customer asks you the price and then write it down and point at it, or say, well, let me tell you about this other good bull roar first, and totally evading. And you see, evading talking price is a wow right there. Your customer knows that if you thought your price was any good, you'd be more than happy to talk about your price. You know, earlier I told you 94% of salespeople will not raise the issue of price. 44% of salespeople directly ask price and start talking about something else. Do you ever stop to think who the 6% of the salespeople are who raise the issue of price? If 94% won't, I'll tell you who they are. Price sellers. Price sellers. Walmart, always a low price, always. If you thought your price was any good, you'll be more than happy to talk about price. Your customer knows instinctively, and hasn't it ever occurred to you prior to just now, that one of the first reasons a customer will attack you with the price question is just to watch you get scared. Wow. Just cut the crap, give me the price. How much you guys going to charge me for this kind of stuff? How are you going to try to stick me for this kind of stuff? Let me tell you about this other stuff. Let me tell you how wonderful our product is. That's a wow. You evade the issue of price. When a customer says, what do you guys want for this stuff? How much are you going to try to stick me for this? You say, the price is $200. And then you watch the customer. Because you see, the customer thinks he's putting you on the defensive by attacking you with price. The customer knows instinctively if you thought your price was any good, you'd be more than happy to talk about the price. So he attacks you with the price question, then he just watches you. What's he looking for? Fear. What's he listening for? Fear. Can you hear fear? Can you see fear? Like I said earlier, I'm not the first speaker you ever had in front of you. You think I'm scared of you? No, because I'm not giving you the audio-video feedback that implies that I'm scared. And so the customer will attack you feeling that he's putting you on the defensive, feeling that if you're insecure about your price, he can read that in you, and he'll just watch you. Now, what do you say? Well, this is really good stuff, and I, really want to tell you about how wonderful it is. And I had this big name sales trainer told me about, I should tell you how wonderful. It's a stupid response. You look at the customer, and you say, the price is $200. And in the process, you look at the customer to see where the customer is looking. Because when you tell the customer, and incidentally, you look them right in the eye, and you say, the price is $200, the customer is going to come back at you with, I'm not going to pay that kind of money, or your price is too high, or you guys are going to have to get competitive. And observe where the customer looks. You see, if the customer is not going to pay you the $200, he'll look you in the eye and say, I'm not paying $200. And if he's really a good buyer, he may be able to successfully feign that. But if he's not all that good, he'll have a tough time looking you in the eye. The vernacular of our language pays tribute to what I'm talking about. When a person is being honest and straightforward, you look people in the eye. You've heard this said. I looked that guy in the eye and told him blah, blah, blah. You've heard this said. I don't trust that guy. He doesn't look at you when he's talking to you. He's one of them sneaky-eyed kinds of guys. You know what I mean? Let me tell you about a man named Marvin Shutt. He, years ago, was executive director of the National Sporting Goods Association, and I was doing a lot of work with the National Sporting Goods Association, Ski Retailers International. And Marvin Shutt one time said to me, he said, Larry, You know, the most expensive customer you'll ever sell to is a price buyer. And I was so naive and young at the time, I suppose. I said, "Why do you say that, Marv?" And he made me memorize this 10-point answer that I will now share with you. He said, "Larry, because price buyers take all your sales time, do all the complaining, forget to pay you, tell everybody else how little they paid you, drive off your good customers. Not going to buy from you next time unless your price is too low then. Only continue to buy from you so long as your price is too low until such times your company goes broke, which time he's going to say, I knew they were going broke, price is too low, could have told them that. They'll run up your investment in inventory, land, building, machinery, equipment, trucks, warehouse, space, people to supply their needs. They'll lie to you, and they'll steal from you." Said other than that, they're good accounts. Now, you know, I'm glad he made me memorize that because it really has saved me a lot of money, if not, in fact, made me a lot of money by me not wasting money trying to sell to somebody that wasn't going to buy, or if they were going to buy, you know, I'm not going to make any money on it. Let's define a price buyer. For our purposes here, a bona fide price buyer is a prospective customer whose mentality is you, the seller, are not going to make any money on me, the buyer. I'm going to beat on you and pound on you and hammer on you and squeeze on you till every possible ounce of profit is out of this deal. Well, now, if you have a customer who's devoted to the proposition that you, the seller, are not going to make any money off me, the buyer, you got to ask a question. Why do you want to sell to them? Practice working? If they're right, and they're going to squeeze all the profit out of it, and you go ahead and sell to them, all you're doing at best is practicing working. And keep this in mind. If they hammer you so hard that you actually lose money on the deal, now in essence you're paying to practice working. That sounds like double dumb to me.